In today's video, we're going to provide you with the Army's most used to clear districts as a Capitol Hall Level 6. What's going on, my friends? My name is Joe. Welcome back to the show. And since Clan Capitals released last year, we've provided attack strategy guides for Capitol Hall Levels 3, 4, 5, 7, and 10, and somehow we completely skipped level 6. I have no idea. Today we are in Paradox Enigma. It looks like they have unlocked Dragon Cliffs, and if you are doing raid weekend, they probably look something like this, which isn't really much of a threat at all. However, they do have the new Super P.E.K.K.A. unlocked, as well as the Hog Raiders, and we're working with 185 troop housing space and 5 spell slots. So we're going to take a look at our current raid weekend and get into our clan info. You can see that I came in at number 2, which is quite impressive for me because I normally just spam straight up. But we're going to work through a couple of the different armies that I used throughout this particular raid versus House of Flame. So we're going to start out on Builder's Workshop, and this district was taken down in exactly 2 attacks, and that is the ideal situation for each district, minus the peak is destruction with 2 attacks, and then the peak should fall if it's a really bad base in around 3 attacks, if you're using the right armies. Now, the army used by this attacker should be very familiar with the Super Giants, Super Wizards, and the raid cards, and he's going to start over here on this right side. Now, a lot of the clans out there are not updating their default bases, so we normally know that there's traps right there in the beginning between the Spear Thrower and the Super Wizard Tower. Now, this attacker does do something that I want to point out to you. He's going to drop Super or Sneaky Archers, and they're going to find the 2 log traps. Now, that's a complete waste of Sneaky Archers. He should have probably dropped the Battle Ram because they are cheaper in housing space, and they should still make it to open up the wall, but that's besides the point. Just a little tip for you. He's going to drop those Sneaky Archers to take on the Super Wizard Tower, and then he's going to drop the Super Giants, Battle Ram, and I think he's going to try to work up through these first couple of defenses. Looks like he's kind of negotiating here. He was thinking about it a little bit. He's got the Super Giants down, Battle Rams, and then he's going to drop the raid cards to take on the Spear Thrower and follow the troops directly into a giant cannon. So you need to get the heal spell down. We're going to speed this up because it does take a little bit of time, and a lot of these attacks do go rather slow because you got to be patient with certain things like the Sneaky Archers. That got used a lot throughout this entire raid weekend. Anyways, our raid cards are going to progress through the heal spell, take down the defenses, and they're going to continue to push back the other way towards the district hall itself. So this is a very viable army when you have those buildings very tightly packed, like you'll see on Builder's Workshop in the default layout. So we're going to jump into my attacks now. We're going to start out on Barbarian Camp, and I think my final attack was actually a very viable army when you have the option to overpower defenses with air troops, which is the Rocket Loons, Minions, and I don't really know why I brought the Super Giant. I have no explanation for that. So we're going to start out by taking on this defense right here by sneaking in the Rocket Loons, dropping minions back behind to take down the defense or the final buildings as well as the district hall. And then we're going to basically just kind of drop Rocket Loons one at a time to rush in on defenses, and the Super Giant actually came in handy distracting the rocket artillery. That's why I brought it. Completely forgot why I did that. But either way, we were able to easily overpower this base with a very formidable army. It does come in really handy, but actually it was not used as much as this next army. And I have to say it, but Sneaky Archers and Battle Rams are by far the best army at this level, hands down, like no doubt about it, with the Rage spell and the Lightning spell. And we're going to start out by clearance of clan houses. The clan houses are just basically pesky, annoying buildings that clear up and close up that deployment zone. So we're going to drop Sneaky Archers to kind of navigate through these clan houses, and we're going to use Battle Rams to do 2 different things: look for traps and open up walls. And as long as we can find traps and preserve our Sneaky Archers, we should be able to take down large percentages of these bases. As you can see, we got some on the far right side, we got some on the left side, and we're going to drop that Rage spell in a zone to where we can clear out as many defensive buildings around the Capitol Hall as possible. We got the Sneaky Archers in there taking down defenses on the left side, and then also using our Battle Rams to find giant bombs along the way. Now we're going to get to about 40-something%. Let me speed it up because we're going to pick off a few additional defenses with our Sneaky Archers to include a multi-mortar, and you'll see how our capital peak is fully exposed. There's really nothing around it other than the defenses back behind it. So I changed my army to take down the capital peak itself, or the capital hall, this guy right here. So we're going to bring 2 of the super P.E.K.K.A.s, 1 hog raider, and 2 super wizards with sneaky archers. Now check this out. The thing about it is that if you're going to incorporate the hog raiders, you have to keep in mind that one of those is a hog glider, which will stun defenses if it lands on the defense itself. So we're going to drop that heal spell to start us out, and then we're going to send the hog raider in to stun the capital hall, and then we're going to send the 2 super P.E.K.K.A.s in there to beat it up. Just take it out. And then also using the super wizards to get some chain value on the backside to try to clear some defenses, although I don't think we were able to take out that many. No, we weren't. And then the super P.E.K.K.A.s unfortunately went outside, but we got sneaky archers to pick off additional defenses, to include the wizard tower on the upper right side. Super P.E.K.K.A.s are going to work their way around the left side, and then we're going to follow that up with a sneaky archer to take down the bomb tower over here in that compartment, which is kind of standard for this layout. And then they're going to continue to take out clan houses, and we actually do really well. But then we're going to finish up at 82%, finish out this base with our third attack being these sneaky archers. And then going into our next raid, I only had 2 attacks left, so I was able to take down Dragon Cliffs with this army right here, which is the Flying Fortress, the Rocket Loons, and some Battle Rams. The Battle Rams are used to open up that deployment zone. That way you're able to deploy more troops. Now, like I said, this particular district will not take a lot to take down, because right now, as it sits as a Capital Hall level 6, most people probably have not unlocked the Super Dragon Post yet, so you should be able to use armies like this to finish out this base. We're not even going to watch all of this because it was actually just making sure that you keep the rocket balloons ahead of the Flying Fortress, taking out the Inferno Tower, and I actually failed at doing that, but we had plenty of skeletons to finish out the remaining defenses. I'm not even kidding. That's how it went down. So I did come back in on Builder's Workshop with a different army that is something that you can use and will become very usable as you grow as a clan capital. Like when you get to level 7, level 8, you're going to probably use a lot more of the hog raiders. Now the hog raiders, you got to keep in mind that you can stun the defenses, so you really don't want to spam all of them at once. That's not the ideal situation, although the hog riders can take down the defenses really fast. So in this situation, we're going to just drop them and drop a heal spell. They're going to launch up into the giant cannon. We're going to zap the defenses to weaken them, and the heal spell is able to get the hog riders up to health before they are able to travel across the base and go into the cannon and air defense. But this is where you really have to kind of understand what armies are working, and that way you can kind of take down these districts and get yourself a lot more clan capital gold. That way you can assist your clans in upgrading the clan capital.